Minister, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
I was
having
just
me.
saying we were up there, we seemed to strike a fairly optimistic tone up there on the stage, and in your role as president of the Eurogroup, what do you feel you can accomplish when it comes to some of these Euro area reforms?
Good morning. There are good reasons to be optimistic about Europe these days. Europe is growing. All countries in Europe are growing. Unemployment is receding. The financial sector in all countries is much more robust today than it was 5 years ago. These are very good indicators. These indicators do not come by chance. They are the result of very deep reforms that the Euro area implemented in the past, but we now need to go the extra mile, and we have all conditions to do that. We have been discussing politically and technically the difficult issues that we have to deal with, but there are good reasons to think that up to June we will be able to detail the roadmap we have in front of us, completing the banking union, reinforcing the role of the European Stability Mechanism in crisis management. We know that the next crisis will come. We have to make sure that it arrives later than sooner, but we need to be prepared.
When it comes to that timeline, do you think June is reasonable based on, a little bit of what you heard up there from the German finance minister? Do you think you can forge an agreement on some solid proposals?
My colleagues on stage were very optimistic about it. They are very much concentrated on the reform project. Sometimes the dashboard of opinions on these processes in Europe is very noisy. We need to be very, quiet about it. We are working very hard at the technical level, also at the political level. Leadership in Europe these days is strong. As I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, we need at this stage to invest political capital in this process, and I'm sure it will show.
As the president of the Eurogroup, how important are these reforms now for the view of Europe, from the rest of the world?
It's very important because Europe is today an engine of growth in the global economy. It's the single largest market in the world. It's very important for Europe not to lose the leadership it deserves in this context, and we will accomplish it.
Very, very quickly, I know you're a big football fan. Do you have any projections for the World Cup?
Well, Portugal.
Our Facebook Live audience will like that one.
I'm sure it will. We are European champions, so let's make it to the world title.
Thanks so much for joining us live. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.